Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, October 24th, 2024. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. 104 students from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College were recognized for their academic achievements at the 2024 Schools Independence Rally today at Victoria Park. Among those awarded were 32 students who received national scholarships, each valid for 5 years at the University of the West Indies. 21 exhibition scholarships covering the cost of 3 years at UWI and 49 bursaries valued at $25,000 EC per year for 3 years. Additionally, 2 special awards were given to students over 21 years who have excelled academically. The most outstanding national scholars received the Prime Minister's Gold Medal and a cash prize of $20,000 each, in addition to their 5-year national scholarship. This year, the 4 top scholars are Kerry Scozier, Hallie Douglas, Jeanna Edwards, and Maya John. The rally was held under the theme Echoes of Excellence, Acknowledging Achievement. Deputy Chief Education Officer Joycelyn Blake Brown, in her address, told the gathering that this year marks a milestone in the nation's history, a moment for reflection, pride, and renewed commitment to build for all.
Independence is a powerful symbol of our people's courage and our shared determination to forge our own path. For 45 years, we have worked together as a proud, independent nation, upholding the values of freedom, unity, and progress. Just as a child matures and learns new lessons through each stage of life, our nation has grown and evolved through the efforts of those who came before us. Our independence did not only grant us freedom from colonial rule, but it also opened the doors to greater responsibility. Responsibility to shape our destiny, to build a society where every citizen can thrive, and to preserve the ideas that make us uniquely Vincentians.
Congratulating the awardees, the Deputy Chief Education Officer commended them for their hard work, which she said has set them apart and made their families, schools, and nation incredibly proud.
Attaining this scholarship is not a small feat. It is a reflection of your diligence, perseverance, and the support of your teachers. And when I say teachers, I am talking of teachers from early childhood, primary, secondary, tertiary, all of those individuals who would have shaped your lives and your loved ones. But more importantly, it symbolizes the power of education to transform lives. You are the future leaders, innovators, and change makers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have every confidence that you will carry the torch of independence forward, blazing new trails of success and prosperity. To all the students here today, whether you are a recipient of an award today or not, let this serve as inspiration. Every one of you has the potential to achieve greatness, to contribute meaningfully to your country, and to be a beacon of hope for others.
Minister of Education Curtis King remarked that the theme of the rally, Echoes of Excellence, Acknowledging Achievement, serves as a timely reminder that every success and achievement attained by each student is an echo in their respective communities and an inspiration for others.
We thus today honor your achievements, not so much for what they are, but for what they represent, a brighter future for all of us. Let us not forget that every achievement is a shared victory, a testament to our collective strength and unity. Students, those gathered here, those listening, today we celebrate your excellence in your respective fields of endeavor. Excellence is not simply a goal. It is a journey. It is a journey that is reflected in the dedication of our students who strive for excellence, in the perseverance of our athletes like Shafika Maloney and Handel Robin, who push their bodies to the limit. It is a reflection of the creativity of our young creatives. Some of them have performed this morning, who dare to dream.
The Education Minister further pointed out that excellence is about solidarity. It involves lifting each other up, celebrating each other's successes, and working to overcome challenges.
I therefore ask that even as we celebrate today, let us keep in our thoughts and our prayers our sisters and brothers who, especially those of the Southern Grenadines, who suffered great losses during the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Excellence will be applied in the rebuilding of their lives and livelihood. This year, as you have heard, a record number of 104 students will be awarded national scholarships, national exhibitions, bursaries, and 2 special awards to enable you to pursue university education. This year, for the first time, 4 students are tied for the top position. Yes, you can put your hands together for our students. Another record this year is the award of 32 national scholarships. 32, all of 5 years duration. Again, you need to put your hands together for our students. This remarkable achievement came after many challenges.
Highlighting the successes in education nationally, Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves, who delivered the feature address at today's rally, acknowledged that there are areas for improvement, particularly in mathematics scores.
The teachers have to figure out how to teach the math more optimally, better, and the students have to pay a little bit more attention and application and do your homework more. Those things are very important if we need to lift the scores. The world in which we are living is getting more and more complicated. It's getting more and more challenging with science and technology and applied science and technology. And if we have to make our way in the world to improve our lives, our living and production, we have to pay attention to our education, all areas of our education. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. But we have to pay attention to English and Spanish and French and Mandarin Chinese. And we have to pay attention to history and geography and all the life sciences. So everything is important. But as we moved in a more scientific world, all of us at a minimum have to be familiar with modern applied science and technology. I think that's important for you to bear in mind.
The Prime Minister urged the students to look ahead to the future and make good use of the educational opportunities available to them.
And I want you, if you are 15 years old, I want you to ask yourself, what are you going to be doing in the year 2050, which is only 26 years away? So you have to ask yourself, what will you be doing when you're 41 years old? The important question. And your mommy and your daddy and your other family members and teachers have to guide you accordingly. So don't complain when you're 40, trying to figure out where you're going to get a job. If you study now and you equip yourself properly, you ain't gonna have any problem in having a job, and more than that, a satisfying job, reasonably paid, and you are being trained not only for your nation, but regionally and globally, because the world is getting smaller and smaller.
He also advised the students to remember that they are children of the Caribbean civilization, which is unique and possesses nobility, high quality, and a trajectory for further enrichment and advancement.
You keep that in your being, in your head, in your mind, in your soul, in your heart, and wherever you go. And the anthem has it right. You always, no matter how far you stray, you stay still with St. Vincent and the Grenadines in your heart and your mind. Now this year, if I zero in on the results at Cape and the associated degrees, I told you all last year and the year before, you reach the required standards, you do your part, and I will do my part. When I saw the number of scholarships, national scholarships, national exhibitions, and bursaries, 104 of them, I tell you, I was full of joy. At the same time, as you say in your home, my belly cut me, because there's plenty money. Plenty. I see you laughing. I'm happy, but I don't mean to. My joy was and is still accompanied. Well, Ralph, you gotta find the money. And I promise you, I have the money and I will find even more money. Because I want you. It's 104 now. If next year is 120, so be it. Because that is the philosophy which I bring to the table with this matter.
The 3-day trade mission of the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturing Association has resulted in numerous linkages being formed. Speaking at the closing ceremony held at Beachcombers, Chief Executive Officer of TTMA, Mahindra Ramdeen, emphasized the need for the region to take advantage of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, the CSME, as it pertains to trade, particularly between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Trinidad and Tobago.
We didn't see it primarily as a mission where we come and try to sell stuff alone. We wanted to participate in everything, Vincent, because we have a significant amount of our manufacturers also trying to source material. The way the world is going, the globalization environment that we're operating in, we need to diversify our portfolio in terms of how we source items. When we hear the heads of government and the likes of the minister and his cabinet colleagues and committees at the CARICOM level talking about 25 and 25 and feeding ourselves, we need to look within. The geographical dispensation that we live in now speaks to the fact that we cannot continue to rest all our eggs in one basket. We really and truly need to diversify our portfolio in terms of sourcing and selling and buying products, and why not look within ourselves? The CARICOM region of 7 million people, if we work together really hard, there's no reason why we can't be among the best producing, selling, buying nations for ourselves. There are many things we can buy. And Minister, as I have you here, we need to resolve some of the matters that is curtailing the trade at the CARICOM level. All these sanitary and phytosanitary and the non-tariff barriers that are created. We in the business community, what we really want to do is to operate in an environment that is transparent and predictable.
According to the TTMA CEO, the trade mission, which included 21 companies on the island, expressed enthusiasm for the upcoming Vinci Expo, typically held during SVG's independence celebrations. Minister of Finance Camilo Gonsalves apologized for the absence of the exposition this year, noting that Hurricane Beryl had impacted the planned activities. However, he affirmed that despite the setbacks caused by disasters, SVG remains open for trade.
And consistently growing economy, that we incentivize regional trade, and that we have an expanding middle class that is eager to engage in commerce at various levels with businesses in Trinidad and Tobago. You are here on our Independence Weekend, and our Independence Day is on Sunday. But we know that in the context of small island developing states like ours, we celebrate independence, but we recognize interdependence, and that there's a great need for the small island states of the Caribbean to forge linkages with one another and to form trade linkages, in addition to people and all the rest of it, to ensure not only our own development and growth and prosperity, but to ensure the unity of what we're trying to create within our Caribbean civilization.
Trinidad and Tobago's Director of Trade, Susan Singh Saratan, stated that the trade mission to SVG strengthens trade relations between the two countries by addressing shared priorities.
Ladies and gentlemen, our two countries share a strong history of trade relation, characterized by our status as sister countries within CARICOM and through the CSME. Our geographical proximity as the southernmost islands in the Caribbean basin, coupled with our shared historical and cultural experiences, further strengthens this bond. Formal diplomatic ties were established in 1979, and through our mutual membership in CARICOM, the Commonwealth of Nations, the Organization of American States, and the Association of Caribbean States, we have consistently supported one another in advocating for key issues affecting us as small island developing states.
The TTMA's trade mission to SVG was facilitated by the SVG Chamber of Industry and Commerce. Its Executive Director, Anthony Regisford, remarked that the mission was a success.
Yesterday and part of today saw about 50 businesses from St. Vincent and the Grenadines come to have one-on-one meetings with the 21 businesses that were represented from the TTMA. And from my feedback, both on the St. Vincent side and on the Trinidad side, the meetings were very fruitful. So I'm very happy about that. And I think that is mission accomplished. I know obviously there are follow-ups to be had. And what was interesting is that even some businesses that were not here had emissaries, you know, in the form of people who were here saying, oh, I have a contact for such and such. And so that's how our network grows.
4 months after the passage of Hurricane Beryl, many residents of Union Island in the southern Grenadines have left shelters and returned home. Some have opted to live in their hurricane-damaged houses, including an elderly woman from Ashton, Union Island, who shares her struggles with SVG-TV News.
If you in have good faith with this thing, you drop down and dead.
66-year-old Jamalyn Booth of Ashton, Union Island is one of many who returned to her hurricane-damaged home.
Whole piece of cabinet, we have to cover kitchen. If we never do that, we can't stay there, we're still in the shelter.
Booth has also covered a section of her two-bedroom house with tarpaulin.
Sometimes just for me to cry, because to see I take care of my mother, and my mother dead and left this for me. And to see now she gone eternity, and to see this thing here come to me. Everything go away from me. Everything, not me alone. A lot of we things go away from. Them 2 piece of thing we see we hire, Bodo, where they send from overseas for we get 2 piece.
The woman who had to jump through her window during the storm to reach a neighbor's house said she has been in survival mode since the passage of the Category 4 storm.
In the morning when I wake up, I can't even drink tea. I can't even drink tea. The evening when I do come over, if I see the condition again, that's why I can't face near. If I face near, they will have to take my dead body out here.
Butte has a water tank and eagerly awaits the rain, though with a heavy heart, as other sections of her house remains exposed to the harsh weather.
Oh, they like a river when it's rain come. Yes, we see we have to put a piece of tarpaulin out it, right out it too, just not to rattle them piece of board. No, them board, a board is a board flow.
According to Butte, her experience at the shelter was not a positive one, and she felt it was best to leave. An assessment of her house was carried out, and she was promised that she would receive a new home.
You know, I was going around the house. He said the place need to mash down, right? That means they're going to mash it down next year, and they're going to get me a house next year by the mercy of God.
Are you glad for that?
If I'm glad for it again, if I'm glad again, I really get glad. I pray night and day.
The elderly woman will be without electricity until she receives her new house. Cooking is not an issue, as she uses a fireside or a coal pot.
What's for lunch today? What's for lunch? Breadfruit and stewed chicken.
Like many residents of Union Island, the frustration can be overwhelming, but she remains thankful for life and holds on to the promises of income support and a new home.
I want my house fixed up. I need it to mash down. Money, I put that left money. Yeah, I put that left your house too. But at the same time, your house important.
For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pogsley-Kidd.
Myron Campbell, one of 40 Vincentians serving in the British Royal Navy, is back home for a 10-day visit and says he's excited to return for many reasons, including participating in the country's 45th Independence Parade. The Bel Air resident expressed that nothing beats being home with family.
I've been in the Navy for 21 and a half years now. I joined up in 2003. They recruited from St. Vincent, and I've been in ever since, and it's something that I've never regretted. I've been to a lot of places, we've seen a lot of things, and it's an experience which, given a second chance, I grab it again straight away. So since we've came back, I actually stay in Bel Air. I've seen a lot of my family, a lot of my friends, and yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, so the first day we came back, my mom had like traditional, what we call boiled down, boiling with tanyas and yams and eddos and stuff, and you kind of don't realize what you're missing until you actually miss it. I mean, those things are available in England, obviously, but it's not as readily available for us as it is here. So getting back and just appreciating and enjoying some of that stuff was really amazing.
During their visit home, the Royal Navy members have been engaging with various communities and educational institutions, sharing their experiences of serving in the Royal Navy. Yesterday, 3 Marine engineers, one of whom is a non-national, visited Union Island with the SVG Coast Guard. SVG-TV News caught up with them on board the SVG Coast Guard, where they shared their impressions of the hurricane-ravaged island.
We were asked to come along just to sort of like have a visual of the impact and the implications of what has happened to this island, and to see if there's anything that we may or may not be able to do as a contingent in order to offer some sort of support if we can. I think there's a lot of hard work going on. The devastation is not as I imagine. There's only so much you can tell in pictures. You have to experience it in real life to understand exactly how bad it is. I think the people are working really hard.
So I obviously read and heard about the hurricane, so to come out here and have a look at it firsthand, it's been sort of left quite an impression on me, the devastation caused and how they're coping with it and the sort of challenges they face. Logistically getting sort of materials and manpower in to repair it and continue facing sort of challenges with water and food, as well as just repairing structures as well. So it's been a very interesting day.
So the trip to Union Island, I've seen pictures and that, but it was good to see that a lot of the work that's being done. So the buildings it's good to see that the buildings are getting built again. But I think that we need some more people out there to get a push on it.
The visiting members of the Royal Navy will be participating in SVG's 45th Independence Parade on Sunday, October 27, 2024. A new literary historical publication has been launched to mark the 45th anniversary of independence of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This book, The Story of Pauline Bramble, Book 1, Springs Blossoms and Young Thorns, written by Vincentian international law specialist and diplomat Dr. Richard A. Byron Cox, tells in literary form an intimate history of SVG from 1800 to 1939. The work is a literary text relating much of the economic, social, religious, familiar history and much more through the lives of its characters, crystallized in that of its chief protagonist, Pauline Bramble.
Pauline, when he now thundered most forcefully, why were you not paying attention to the lesson? Pauline tried but couldn't speak. Rivers of tears were running down her face, and her nostrils had started their own stream. Come up here, came the command. Pauline dutifully left her seat and went to stand in front of this terror she had tried to avoid from the first day she started school. She was trembling from head to toe. Why were you bowing your head instead of looking at the map on the board and paying attention to the lesson? Well, your trousers, head teacher Milford. My trousers? What happened to my trousers? Speak up! Well, the front been open. What did you say? Questioned head teacher Milford. But before Pauline could answer further, Master Willie was over her back. The first blow seemed to have power.
The book, hailed by reviewers from around the world as an iconic masterpiece, took some 12 years to write. Dr. Byron Cox, who is also the author of the critically acclaimed Were Mama's Tears in Vain, said his objectives for writing the story of Pauline Bramble include marking history more than just statistics. That's making history more than just statistics by demonstrating that the past of slavery and colonialism played a key role in shaping the Vincentian and Caribbean person of today. In his review of the book, SVG's High Commissioner to London, His Excellency Senior Lewis, declares that the work of Cox will have a lasting impact on those lucky enough to read it, as it touches on serious matters of concern in our world today. The book is available at local bookstores. Vincentian lawyer Baylis Frederick passed away today. The announcement was made in a Facebook post by his daughter Vinette Frederick, who is also a lawyer. The post reads, "The centenarian is no more. Kiss mommy for me, daddy." The elder Frederick died this month the month after celebrating his 100th birthday. His birthday celebration was also shared by his daughter Vinette on Facebook.